Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Joy Nook Book Club podcast. I am excited. This is the first time we are interviewing a whole entire anthology team of authors that are coming on. And you will notice something a little bit different that we're going to do this time around. What we are doing is we're going to have a part one and a part two. This week, this Saturday, today, you are going to see part one. And then I want you to come back on next Saturday so that you can see part two, so that you can meet these authors, because you know that I strongly believe that a relationship needs to be built before you purchase a book. And that's what I want to give you. I want to give you relationships. So I am so honored because Deborah Franklin, she is the visionary of this anthology. I'm going to just read a snippet. And y'all know what I do. I always put, bios in the description box. You're going to see several bios in these description boxes. So part one will have, the bios, and then part two will have all of the authors' bios there as well. So, but I was blessed enough to be a speaker on one of her speaking engagement, her international speaking engagements for Church Girl CEO. And we ended up finding out that we knew some of the same people, not knowing, but sometimes it happens that way. God has a reason for why he has you meet someone at a time that you meet them. And I really believe, because I met some wonderful women in Church Girl CEO, and I am able to collaborate on other things with them. So another speaker is actually now my attorney. Another speaker is worked on some of my PR. Another speaker, yeah. So I tapped into the resources that she had, because again, as a businesswoman, you are trying to find resources with people that can take your vision to the next level that it's supposed to go to. And also, I have another speaker that's coming on to talk about finances in the month of November. So it's just like I made sure that these resources that she has brought about, I'm utilizing them. And I just wanted her to know that I am using the things that she is doing, the people that she's putting us in front of. And I think it's important. We're able to give to each other, and she teaches that, and she actually walks that. And not only does she, talk about business, but she just speaks about faith. And it's so hard. It's challenging as a businesswoman, number one, but then as a Christian businesswoman, sometimes you find yourself teetering like, oh, they think just because I'm a Christian, I'm supposed to act some kind of way. And that's just not, no, you're not going to take advantage and get discounts because of the fact that I'm a Christian. And some of the workshops that she has done and I have taken, she doesn't even realize how much I've gleaned from her, because I am one that gleans and leans. I glean and lean, and I do tell. So if you missed the mark, and I've told you, shame on you if you missed it, because let me tell you something. When someone is elevated, so are their prices. So are their prices. And therefore, you're going to get the elevation. You're going to get the elevation. So I thank God that like I said, I gleaned and leaned with her. So I want to read this from her bio. Deborah Franklin is the founder and CEO of Conversations Entertainment Group. That is the corporate headquarters for Deborah Franklin Publishing and Church Girl CEO. With over 20 years in the entertainment and education industries, she has the knowledge and expertise to assist you to catapult your career to the next level. And all of that, I said, all of what I said to support just that, because she really does. I was in a certain place, but there was things she gave me that helped me just kind of take another step. And that's what she does. So I want to have her give a little bit, just tell a little bit more about the things she's done, because I didn't even touch the surface, y'all. Because she went to Nigeria, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the Joy Nook Network was in Nigeria with her, okay, supporting. I was here, and it went there. But I want her to tell just a little bit more about herself and what projects she has going on now, because she has some good things, y'all. She has some. So, Deborah Franklin, the floor is yours.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you. You have just been a light. And I promise you, I know I laugh because I was telling some people, I'm like, I don't know how I don't know Alenia. I don't know how I don't know her. And then we started to talk. I'm like, I know you're cheering. How I don't know you. But because I normally work with the youth in our church, and I didn't really cross over because, honey, once you finish with them babies, you ready to throw the deuce. You're
You
done. So, it was just a blessing. And we talked about this. And, God has a way of just letting you meet the people that you need. So that way, nothing is clouding the relationship. Nothing
right.
is muddying up the relationship. You are meet that person authentically in the way that you need to meet them. So titles didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Situations didn't mean anything. Where you were a member of didn't mean anything, because when
Right.
you met me, you met Deborah Franklin. And
Right.
that's one of the things that I preach on, that I stand on with everything that I do. We did a whole workshop, and I told them, with Church Girl CEO, do not come in here with a title. Your first name is all we want to know. I don't care if you're a reverend. I don't care if you're a minister. I don't care if you're a janitor. I don't care if you sister prophet, reverend doctor, pastor. I don't want it. There was only one person that came to that conference that used their title, but that's because they came on. Apostle Green came on to pour into our lives as our
Right.
apostle. That was the only person that used their title. And then the funny part about it, when she really got into it, she said, "Child, I should have took my title off because I didn't know y'all was gonna be doing all of this."
I
So,
love it.
it's like we have to learn. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell y'all what I do. I work with highly successful high achieving women to tell their stories, to increase and help them catapult their VIP status, meaning your visibility, your influence, and your profits, because those three are what a VIP is. Bump the red carpet, because everybody's about, oh, I got to get me a gown. I got to be on the red carpet. Oh, yeah, you can be on there, but what's in your pocketbook? You
Right.
talking about being on this carpet and you can't even afford the gown that you got on. I'm just going to let that sit right there.
Amen.
Just let that sit right there.
Amen.
You can't afford the gown. You can't afford the shoes. You can't afford nothing. You basically living a lie. And what we are doing with Church Girl CEO, we want our people to take that next level. Stop.
Yes.
I understand, fake it till you make it. But baby, you in your 40s and your 50s. At some point, you should have something. I'm just being honest, because we have got to start learning how to take what we do and taking it to the next level with excellence. Now, is it going to be challenging? Absolutely. Do
Yes.
you know everything that you're doing? Heaven forbid, no. But the thing is, you can't do it unless you start it. Because if
Right.
we look at the Bible, we have to start holding on and holding tight to my favorite scripture. Your gift shall make room for you. Because,
Mm.
and this is the problem, people don't go to that next level. Your gift will make room for you and bring you
Yes.
forth to the
Yes.
table with men, and but see, I had to add something. Men and women of power, because see, you're supposed to be at the table. I
Yes.
know that it's been said you're supposed to create your table, but see, baby, you got to go sit at a table in order to know how to get some crumbs. Be like from
Right.
but I can't even say from Bibashad, whatever his name is. Get the crumbs. Y'all know who
Right.
I'm talking about. Get the crumbs, because sometimes those crumbs got the same ingredients as the whole loaf. So when you get the crumb, you still getting the information that you need to take yourself to that next level. And that's what we have to do when we are on this journey of Christendom, and stop hiding behind, oh, I'm just a church girl. No, baby, you are a church girl CEO. And when you are a CEO, you are a chief executive officer. When you are the chief, you are in charge. When you are an executive, you make executive decisions. When you are an officer, you are in charge. So that
Mm-hmm.
is one of the highest ranks. So you need to take your rank, take your crown. I'm tired of people straighten your crown, but make sure you bought the crown and nobody gave it to you. That
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let that sit right there.
Mellow in your chest, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. Let that drip and dip right into your El Spirito because
All
you
in your
have
spirit.
all up in it. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we go through different things because we have to experience some things. And
Yes.
sometimes we get put in situations that don't make sense. They don't make no sense whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But this
Mm-hmm.
is what, and I'm just going to share this and then I'm going to throw this back over to Alenia. But sometimes in those situations, that you're in is not for you. It's not for you, but it's for you to learn something. I'm in a
Yes.
situation that I'm experiencing right now, and I was like, oh my God. I was really trying to figure out how I was going to teach this next segment that we're teaching for the 21-day prayer challenge. And we're going to be talking about the Lydia anointing. But I was like, okay, God,
Mhm.
how am I going to tie this in to make it relevant to what women are going through? And what
Right.
I just went through, my God, from Zion. I was like, that's what it was. I had to
Mm-hmm.
experience. So sometimes you can't get mad at the situation. You can't get salty. You can't start cussing and fussing and blaming in people and talking about what I
Right.
wouldn't do. Start thinking about and start looking at, why did God allow me to go through this? What lesson was I supposed to learn?
Oh,
Was it
yes.
to grow me? Was it to expand me? Was it to give me better insight on myself, on my business, on the people that are in my circle? Because sometimes that circle is what's bringing you back. You can't see the
Mm-hmm.
vision because you are in the wrong circle and they're blinding you.
Yep.
Stop being with people just because of a title. Stop being with people just because they act like they know everything and everybody. Because the thing is, you have to stand on what God gave you. And when you stand on what God gave you, it ain't nothing nobody can do. They can lie on you, they can cheat on you, they can stab you in the back, they can pull your pants
Mm-hmm.
down in the middle of the street. But if God got it for you, then that is how you will receive it, because
Yes.
that's just hold the nature of the thing. Because and please guys, please ladies, please gentlemen, stop letting, don't let your age deter you either. Stop saying
Yes.
I'm too old for this or I'm too young for
Mm-hmm.
this. You know what? If
Right.
God gave you the vision, go for it. Because
Go
that's
for it.
another thing
Yes.
about Habakkuk 2 and 2. We talk about write the vision, make it plain.
Make it plain.
Okay, write it, make it plain, but you forget you got to execute that joker.
You gotta work
Just
it.
just
You
because
gotta
you
work it.
want this business, but you ain't took not one class. Or
Amen. Amen.
or my favorite one, because she was talking about pricing earlier. You want to charge people $9.97 for something, and you ain't paid nobody $9.97. Stop
97.
playing. I'm just saying. Just say,
Who you
okay.
telling?
Now that I'm through, let me get off my soapbox. Let
Who
me.
you but that leads into what how all of what you are going through, you have done, because this isn't your first book at all.
No.
Y'all,
Mm-mm.
and I'm gonna have her back. Okay. And but with what you have done and experience, where did mosaics come from?
Mosaics came from, I wanted women to share that they don't look like what they've been through. Because
Mm,
so many times we see, especially women in ministry, we operate in a facade all the time. We have the hair
mm.
together, the bun is right, the hair's weave right, we got the right foundation on, we got the right thing sucking us in, we got the look.
Right.
But in all actuality, people don't know what you've been through. And I'm
Mm,
so tired of people with titles acting like they holier than thou, like they ain't been through nothing, like they ain't been to
mhm.
court, like they ain't been to jail, like they ain't had an
Right.
abortion, like they haven't had a miscarriage. I'm sick of it. We have got to
Yes.
learn to tell the truth, because that is the only way we are going to see our brothers and sisters go to the next level and be
Mm,
who they have been called to be. We have got to
yes.
start sharing our testimonies, because even as the visionary for this book, honestly, I didn't even want to put a chapter in it. I just wanted to organize it. I just wanted to put it
Mhm.
together. But
Okay.
what had happened was, if you were visionary, you was like, okay, baby, we ain't got no chapter. So I guess the Lord saying you
I
got to
got
put something in
it.
there. That part. I had to put something in that joint. But it was still cool because it was therapeutic for me. And
Right.
so many of the authors that worked on this collaboration, when I tell you it was therapy for all of them, it was
Mm,
so much therapy
yeah.
because they were able to work through some things and tap
Mm.
into some areas that they had never
And
thought about it. You
oh,
know,
and
they
I was
had
gonna say that.
to
Girl, I was gonna say that.
yeah,
With
this
some
was
of what I read, I was just like, ho, 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 you had to deal with this all over again. That thing stung. It stung me.
absolutely,
If it stung
absolutely,
me, I know it stung the writer. You know?
absolutely,
Oh my
absolutely.
goodness. So then how did and I want the audience because the book, y'all, and I know you some of y'all have seen it because some of the authors that have written in this book, you know them. And
Absolutely.
you know them very well. But what I want y'all to not mistake is that you know them. That's the thing. You know of them, you know about them, but you don't know them. And I made that mistake. And when
Mhm.
I read, oh my goodness, I went from tears to mad as ham sandwiches on a panini maker. I
My
mean,
God.
it took me through the emotions
Mhm.
and things that no, they share in their experience, and it's real. So what made you reach out to these ladies,
Okay.
that are actually authors in here?
Okay, so can I be real transparent? Y'all,
Yes.
I ain't reach out to nobody. This is what
Amen.
I did. I'm just being honest. I put up a post. I said, if you have been through anything and you would like to share your story,
Look at
then
that.
we have an anthology. And I let God, anything that I do is organic. So God
Mhm.
is definitely in the midst of everything. We got to the point where we needed one more person. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Somebody called. Was like, can I still get in? Normally, I
Look
don't
at
let people in, but I was like, nah, man, we need another chapter.
that.
So,
Right.
I had to, it was not only was it a prayer thing, but it was also a business thing. Guys, sometimes God will bring that ram in the
Yes.
bush that you need. And when
Mhm.
I tell you, when they told their story, I was like, "Yep, you were who we were waiting for because you
Mhm.
rounded out this particular anthology." And
Oh
so
wow.
that's what made it so amazing.
I love it. Y'all, I'm telling you, we could keep Deborah Franklin on here for forever, for forever and talk. But we have more for you, y'all. We have more for you. These ladies, mosaics made from beautifully broken pieces. Let me tell you something. The title fit the book. A lot of people that read for substance, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at chapter titles, you're looking at the actual book title. And Deborah Franklin, job well done.
Thank you.
You
Thank
and
you.
your
I
team,
appreciate you.
job well done. Everyone, I want y'all to stay, just hold on. We got a little commercial break coming on, and we're going to bring up the first author. I am like so excited because I had an opportunity to be able to talk to her offline,
Ooh,
businesswoman to businesswoman. And it has been phenomenal to be able to speak to her. Madonna Williams is our next author. So, y'all stay tuned, hang on for this commercial break, and we will be right back with our next
thank
author. So,
you.
Deborah
Thank,
Franklin, thank you for the time that you gave to us
thank you
today.
so much.
All right, welcome back. I told y'all we have another we have an author here. I'm excited. And y'all know how I get when I get excited. I get all chills and all the things start to happen and I get my words all jumbled up and I just can't help myself. But having these women come on, and I mean, I'm not done. After Madonna comes on, I'm not finished, okay? Because I'm telling y'all, they are coming with, okay? They are truly coming with. I want to introduce, and again, I'm only saying just a tidbit. Her bio will be in the description box where you can contact her because her and I met through Church Girl CEO, and One of the things that I love about her, she'll tell you quick, I'm a Bible you quick. I mean, she will lay the scripture out like on a platter and a plate for you. And then if you gonna act like you confused and you don't know what's going on, she will help you through that process.
Yes.
And I love her spirit. When we actually did the speaking engagement where we first really met each other, she actually came behind me in speaking. And one of the things that I loved about her, and point blank, is she gives credit. If someone says something and she likes it, she's going to give credit, whether she knows the person or not. She didn't know me
Absolutely.
from Adam, but she gleaned from something that I said. And because she gleaned from something I said, and she was able to kind of incorporate that in what she was saying. And she packed a punch, y'all. She really packed a punch. And from that, I really have been enjoying watching her growth and seeing things that she's changing and doing to really up her game. She's really up in her game. She's not playing with this. And when she says she's doing, she really is. And this is just a little bit of her bio, just a tad. Madonna Williams is a passionate mindset coach who helps successful women of faith who feel broken within to reclaim fulfillment and inner healing in 6 weeks by teaching them how to treasure their inner beauty. Yo, she means what she says. She really does. I want to give her a little opportunity so that she can just kind of tell you a little bit more, because I know what she's doing. But I think it comes out better hearing it from the coach, the owner of the business. It comes out so much better. It rolls off her tongue so much better than it's going to roll off of mine. So, would you please tell my audience a little bit more about yourself and what you are doing and any projects that you have going on before we get into talking about your chapter a little bit?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, number one. And thank you so much for pouring into my life. So I know how you have taken the time to invest in me. And so I know that the women who are connected to you are enriched by what you share with them and how you have nurtured them. But a little bit of backstory about myself is that I wasn't nurturing to myself in the past. I wasn't pouring into myself. As a matter of fact, I was living a depleted life and really thinking I had it all going on. Like, everything on the outside really looked like I had it all together, right? So you have the house, you have the car, you got the kids, the 2-point, you got the animals, because you can't leave them out.
Right.
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 And so on the outside, everything looked perfect. But on the inside is where everything was not as it seemed. It was like a dry and desert land. I'm about to bobble it, okay?
Oh, good girl, get it. Lay it down. Lay it out.
Right.
You.
And it's just like, just like in that dry and desert land, it's just like, will these dry bones live again? And then you kind of looking at yourself within yourself, and you're just like, well, I don't know.
Right.
And you're just like, well, they dry. Like they ain't been watered in years. Okay.
Right.
But then as I began to water it, it began to be nourished. Right. And prior to that, what I really was nurturing and watering was bitterness. So as I began to water that thing prior to my understanding, right? As I watered that, it grew and became resentment. And as I nurtured it, it became anger. So after God had to break me all the way down, because I'm a Bible it again, the word of God says, be angry, but sin not. And of course, I passed that threshold and went into dis-ease, which is why I tell the women to treasure their inner beauty because a lot of times we're doing everything on the outside,
Yes.
but it's the inside that needs the healing. It needs the nurturing. It needs the
Right.
self-care.
Right.
It needs to be replenished. And that is why I really love you, because sometimes they don't even know that what you're giving them, that is what they need. Like,
Right.
you need to be
Right.
They're just like, I don't know, it's just something about her, child. I don't know. I just gotta show up because I know she's gonna give me something over there. And that is what you need.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they can't see it for themselves. It's just something you giving them, but they don't know what it is.
Right.
And it's that love. Is that compassion.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times we will accept grace from someone else, but we don't give it to ourselves.
Yes. We're hardest on ourselves.
Right. So them hearing it from you, oh, they'll receive it.
Right.
But in the secret place, they don't want to give it to themselves.
Right. Right.
Even though you've earned it. You deserve it.
Yes.
God left it here for you.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that you must learn in order to be able to love others. Because I'm going to Bible it again. You have to love others as you do yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise, you're really not loving them. Okay, let me just be honest. You're not doing it.
You're not doing it. Be real.
Right. Just like I said, you look good on the outside, but on the inside, we know what it looked like.
Right.
It's the same thing when you don't love yourself. Right. You're not loving that other person. You're faking it. You're like, I'm doing all the things.
Right.
But you're really giving empty. Sometimes you're giving bitterness. Sometimes you're giving critical resentment. And that is how we really get generation curse, if you really want to break it on down.
Who you telling? Who you telling? Who you tell? Y'all, we can have a whole,
really get it, okay?
We can have a whole coaching show on
yes, girl, yes.
We
do
could. That right there could be a whole entire boot camp, mastermind, whatever you want, seminar. That right there.
Yes,
you're so right. So right. And I love how when and I'm gonna go to this chapter, but I want you to finish what you're saying. So I'm not.
No, because that was what I was gonna say. That was really what I wanted to give the women time to take in and inhale. You know, I don't want them to wait to exhale. I want them to inhale what I said now.
Yes.
So that it can go into their hearts.
Right.
So that they can receive it and know that the grace and the love is sufficient.
Yes.
For them.
Oh my goodness. So when you and knowing all and hearing all, what made you say, I'm going to tap into this project right here? I'm going to tap into Mosaics, because being part of an anthology is a real for real thing.
Yes.
People take it lightly and think that, oh, it's a whole bunch of just stories, Real work goes into this.
Absolutely.
So what made you say, yes, I will. I'm going to do this. This is where my story needs to be.
Well, it began prior to me being diagnosed with a dis-ease, right? So when I say a dis-ease, for me, I had breast cancer. And my mom was telling me, oh, you need to journal this process.
Right.
And I'm thinking, honey, shame, guilt, all the things that come along with that title of cancer. I'm like, I'm not trying to tell nobody about this, right? If anything, I'm trying to sweep this under the rug and not want anybody to know about the pain that this caused me.
Right.
However, if you understand anything about words, they're seeds.
Oh, yes.
So when she said that and I attached an emotion to it, that is how that process began to develop.
Right.
So when she said that, I was just like, oh, I'm really not doing it. Like
right. Because of your mama.
I was like, I'm really not doing it now. She don't know, and then all the old stories you know, from my past came bubbling up. Like, you can't write, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not all these things enough. And so actually Deborah had another project prior to this one, and God was like, oh yeah, you gonna do this. And I was just like, God, I can't write, you know.
I love her.
And guess what Deborah had? She had an audio book the first time. God was like, okay, you can't write, bet.
Yeah.
Audio book. And we done. Now go sit down, you know, like we're done.
Right.
And so with this second project, it was more of a stretching, right? Because I had already said, okay, God, you got me good on that one.
Right.
You got me good. And so this one was like, okay, well, I've already done that, you know? And so I'm just like, oh, okay. That one wasn't so bad, you know? Let me do this. And I had already you know, built that relationship with Deborah, you know, and understood the type of person she was and how she was patient and caring and has a teacher's heart, like, to the core. Okay. It's like, okay, we got to get this done. Like, here's a deadline. Like, okay, we got to do this. Right. So she was like a real teacher, right? And a teachable moments in order to carry me through the process, to, you know, step by step to say, okay, what else you need help with? Okay. And so from there, it really was easy, because God had already pushed me out the boat. Okay. Sink or swim. Like, you about to go and tell this story. Like, that's the part. Yes.
Whether you want to or not.
It's not whether you want to, because it's just kind of like how Jesus said, God, if you take this cup from me. And he's just like, no, I ain't. No, I'm not taking it from you. That it was kind of like that. It was more like, it was more like the cup thing. Yeah. Like, I ain't taking that from you.
So once you began the process, so I know everyone comes up with their title. Some people start, it's already there. Some people say, girl, I didn't know. I needed help. Because and I just want to read your title. It's Healing from the Inside Out. And
absolutely.
It's simple. It's nothing like it's not like you have to think really hard at what this means. So when coming up with the title, what posed you to want it to be that simplistic for women? Because your story itself, your writing, it's nothing simple about it.
Well, as far as the title, I think in that particular season for me, that's what kept coming up for me in my spirit.
Right.
And that was what I needed to learn and grow from. Okay. Because as I was stating before, it was a dry and weary land in there.
Right.
It really, really was. And it wasn't until I began to nourish and get connected with people like you in order to begin to flourish and to blossom and be fruitful and multiply, until I realized, I had something in there all along. I just didn't know it was in there, right? Because I wasn't watering it. So when you don't water your garden, your inner man, when you don't water it, don't expect no fruit. Like, what are we talking about?
Right, exactly. What are we talking about? What are we really talking about? And a lot of people do that. I think, especially women in business, I think we become, I know for me, if I have learned something that I can give to another woman to help her not have to stay up, the hours, have to have it on her mind while she sleeps and be trying to figure it out. I want to give it to you, because absolutely. I know in my heart that God did not give me these gifts and talents and place me in where I am and the things that I've done, and not realizing, oh girl, you did do something.
Yes.
That, it's for a reason, for someone's season. I really believe that. Yes. I know, a lot of people, we operate on reasons and seasons.
Yes.
And I felt that through your writing, that you took your season and it nourished you for your reason.
Absolutely.
And that's what I took from it. So y'all, I'm telling you, we cannot get into the book. We could keep talking and talking and talking. But before we go to a commercial break, Madonna, is there anything that you want to leave my audience with from maybe your thoughts of, from your chapter? Or just some encouraging words that you just want to leave with them?
Absolutely. So for the ladies that are viewing this, I definitely want to be able to share with you, don't hold on to the pain. That's really what I want to tell you. It's only a lesson. Jot down what the lesson is. So journal the lesson, scream the lesson, share the lesson of the pain, but don't hold on to it, because it's there in order to help the person behind you.
Right.
It's there to help heal the person in front of you. And it's also there to assist the people beside you.
Ooh.
So don't hold on to it, because a lot of times when we hold on to it, it becomes dis-ease.
Y'all heard it. We're going to go to a commercial break because we have one more author for today to interview. I'm so excited about this. So Madonna, thank you so much for joining us today. I truly appreciate the time. Please, everyone, her information will be in the description box. If you're looking for a mindset coach, I am telling you right now, go to her. I know y'all are probably saying, well, Alenia, you're a coach. I coach something different. I coach something different than what she is coaching. So please make sure you go and check her out. All of her contact information will be in the description box. And again, y'all, I know we got to go station identification, commercial break. All right. Y'all, thank you. Hang tight. We'll be right back with our next author. Okay, y'all, we are back. We are, for our part 1 segment, we are coming up to our last author for this afternoon. I am so excited for part 1 of Mosaics. We have been having some wonderful conversations with Deborah Franklin, Madonna Williams, and now I am honored to have J.C. Gardner on the air with me. I am so excited about this. The great thing about what you are seeing, this is all birthed, and these relationships are birthed through Church Girl CEO. So if you are a businesswoman, please go over to Church Girl CEO, because these are real relationships, collaborations that we are building here, and being able to help each other advance and go to whatever next level that we're looking to go to. So I'm not going to, y'all know how I get. So I want to read just a little bit of J.C. Gardner's bio. She is an author, an international speaker, writing coach, and ghostwriter. Helping aspiring authors bring their projects to life through her coaching program is a blessing and a gift. She has written and co-authored numerous books, along with contributing to many publications. Her latest novel, Heated, is an urban drama about a single mother's plight to do better despite her negative circumstances. It is the recipient of an IPPY award, a Distinguished Authors Guild award, and an Amazon bestseller. Like I said, y'all, Church Girl CEO is not playing with who is in the group. Not playing at all. And as I was reading through Mosaics, and I said this to Deborah, and I did say this to Madonna, that you're seeing surface level, but when someone writes, you are getting a piece apart. Sometimes you're getting all of them depending on the body of work. With an anthology, you're getting that piece. You're getting a piece of a whole that has made that woman or that man who they are. And I'm telling you, when I read, the title of her book is Reclaiming Your Destiny, y'all. Reclaiming it, okay? So I want to dive into it, but I first want to give JC just a little opportunity to tell us a little bit more about her and her style in her writing, because everyone's chapter looks very different. It's very different. It feels different. And I want her to just kind of tell us a little bit more about her and about how she approached writing her chapter.
Thank you so much, Alenia, for having me here. I am so blessed to be with you today. And I hope that whoever is watching it, that you are also being blessed by what the women have shared from Mosaics. So my approach generally to writing, especially self-help or true real life situations, is to really come from the heart, but also to give the reader some insight that, you know, we all go through things, but we can come out of it from the other side. We might be in the valley, but at some point we're going to be on the mountaintop. It might be dark, but the light is coming. And I want to also show that in particular, I had to really understand that even though what happened to me in my youth was not, I want to say, physically detrimental, it was mentally detrimental.
Yeah.
And sometimes people discount that mental pain. And then they say, well, my hurt was not like her hurt. So, you know, people, it must not be relevant, or people won't really think that that is a big deal. Hurt is hurt.
Yep.
Right? Being in pain is being in pain, whether it's mental or physical.
Tell it.
And everybody's pain level is different.
Yes.
So I was just, you know, when I went to write Reclaiming Your Destiny, you know, I forsaken my destiny because I was squandering my God-given gift of being a storyteller because of something that happened in my past that hurt me.
Right.
And I had to reclaim my own destiny. And that's why I had to write it the way that I wrote it. Like, if I could go back and reclaim what was lost, God will restore it. And he is the one that actually helped me get over it. But I had to be in a right space for it to happen.
There you go. There you go. You were saying it right there. Oh my goodness, y'all. I hope you're listening, ladies. I hope you're listening. Okay. Because when she says, she is just validating everything that I keep saying to my clients, to this audience. Hurt is hurt. Your hurt isn't harder than mine, worse than mine. A hurt is a hurt, and it needs to be healed.
Yes.
Yes. It needs to be healed. And when when I was reading through, and everybody already knows, I'm not going to tell it. I'm not telling nothing. Because normally I be telling stuff. I be giving away all the juicy bits of things. These are not my juicy bits to give away, okay?
I love it.
But when, to write this, one of the things that, you just said was that, you want to give someone something so that they can see that, you know what, hey, you got to deal with this. You got to deal with this. And that kind of goes into my next question is, why say yes to Mosaics? Because you have written in a lot of the other things. Yes. But why Mosaics? Why say yes to Deborah?
Well, it's hard to say no to Deborah. But the subtitle, that subtitle,
made from beautifully broken pieces, y'all.
That right there, that just spoke to my heart and my spirit, because so many of us are broken.
Right, right.
The thing is not to stay broken. That's
Right.
the key. And that is so difficult because I have talked about the fact, I already alluded to the fact that I squandered my gift. And quite frankly, I was like the Israelites in the desert, marching around for 40-something years, not going nowhere, in the same place, running around in a circle for 40-something years, broken. But I was comfortable. Ooh, that's a word for somebody right there.
Amen.
Hello? I was very comfortable in my brokenness.
Yes.
Because to get unbroken meant that I had to admit some things.
Honesty to
Y'all
yourself.
don't know. Y'all, so I know it's talking to somebody. Because you got to do work to become unbroken.
Yes.
Right? And when I tell y'all I squandered my gift, I mean that wholeheartedly. I put all of my writings in a plastic bag and carried it around literally for 30 years.
Oh my goodness, Erica.
So I'm not playing when I say decades. I know exactly what that feels and looks like. And I was comfortable in it because, again, to do anything different would have meant I had to admit, that I was someone who did not want to do the work to get to their greatness that God had already outlined for me.
Right.
So I got out of it because God hit me upside the head one day. Pow! Hallelujah. Hit me upside the head one day. Daughter, what are you doing? What are you doing, daughter? And I'm telling you, let me tell y'all something. I know our time is short and Alinea could probably preach all day. But when you allow yourself to really wait and listen for God, He will show up.
Show up and out.
Show out.
Won't He? Won't He
Girl.
do it?
So the way I got, yes, girl, because the way I got out of it was by Him showing up and showing out, popping me upside the head when I was alone one day. A very rare thing for a woman who's married with children to be alone. And He just came into my presence.
Right.
Of course, this was after me asking Him why wasn't I author and why wasn't I this, that, and the third that He promised me, and why this and why that. And I was just having a good old heart-to-heart conversation with Jesus.
Thank you.
Blaming Jesus.
Blaming.
And
He over there like this. Go on.
Exactly.
What else you gonna say? Because I'm gonna let you finish.
Isn't that the beauty of the relationship? That is the beauty of the relationship. Because that is exactly what happened. Go ahead. Go ahead, get the pity cry out. I'm gonna wait.
Ugly cry. What do you hear? The ugly cry.
The ugly cry, girl. Ugly cry. Okay, he just was carrying on. And exactly what you said. I'm gonna wait till she's done, and then I'm gonna ask her, who has she been listening to all these years? What voices have you allowed in your head that was not of me?
Yes.
And you've chosen to listen to these other people about the gift that I gave you. Woo!
You didn't give it to yourself.
No.
Didn't give it to yourself, but you want to sit on something.
Woo!
Who you telling? Y'all. She's saying it. She's saying it. Yes.
Talk about a light bulb. That was like the brightest breakthrough of sunshine rays anyone could ever have when you realize in one fell swoop, less than 5 minutes, God came in and turned that situation around. And I have not looked back since. But I'm telling you, I was in that desert for 30 years because I put myself in the desert. Because sometimes people and circumstances do hurt us. They do get us self-doubting. They do get us feeling unworthy. We start to believe it and wear it regardless of what our friends and family have said. But the thing about me in particular was no matter how hard I tried, y'all, I could not stop writing. I could not stop it because it was something that was planted within my DNA. I just couldn't stop it.
Oh.
And I think God, every time I would write something, he would say, see, you have it. I gave it to you. You're squandering it.
Oh.
I'm going to give you something else. I'm going to give you something else. I'm going to consistently show you.
Yes.
Even though you holding on to it.
Yes.
I'm still here. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on you now. I'm waiting on you to do the work.
Get your life right.
Hello.
Get your life right.
I'm just waiting on you to do the work.
Right.
And he was right there, as Alenia said, like, go ahead. I'm going to just go ahead, girl. Mm-hmm. What, daughter? Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. What I didn't do? Oh, mm-hmm. All right. You done now? Oh.
Exactly.
And life has never been the same, people. Life has never been the same. I am an award-winning author. What? What does that tell you? What does that tell you, though?
Yo, she's not playing. She isn't playing.
My destiny was laid out for me. The pathway was clear. All I had to do was walk in it. Believe in it.
Yes.
Trust God.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Know that I am more than a conqueror.
Yes.
Know that there's going to be haters that's going to try to detract you from what you are supposed to be doing.
Say it.
And I let the hater succeed for 30 years.
Y'all saw my hands go up, right?
30 years.
We've all been there. Some are still there.
It is a mental prison. I want y'all to understand that. Yes. It is a mental prison, and you are allowing the hater to be the warden.
The warden, the AW, the chief, the captain, the lieutenant,
hello,
the sergeant,
hello,
and the officer. Yes. Yes. You just said it, JC. You couldn't have said it any better. You just laid it on the table for everyone. I'm telling y'all, Mosaics, this book is no joke.
And everybody's story is a breakthrough. Everyone's story is a breakthrough. It's like Alenia said, it's very different. Everyone's walk is different, but I believe all of our journeys are different so that you can see you are not an anomaly.
Right. And that right there, that is it about this book. And I was telling Deborah, I was like, it's like everything meshed together, just like a mosaic does. It looks like it's a hot flaming mess. You put it all together and it's so beautiful.
Yes.
And y'all came out, showed up. I am honored to know y'all and to be part of, like I said, to be part of this group that these women are in. Y'all, we are not done with Mosaics. Y'all have thought we have brought fire. Y'all need to make sure y'all stay tuned for come back next week, next Saturday, 11:30 for part 2, because we have more authors for you. They aren't playing. Mosaics is fire. It really is. And I think sometimes what happens is we think we know people.
Yes. Ooh. Ooh.
Think you know. No, you don't. You do not, because let me tell you something. I have learned some things.
Some things.
Some things.
I love it.
Y'all, I have learned some things. So please, I'm telling y'all, I appreciate y'all joining us this afternoon.
Yes.
JC, thank you for joining us.
Oh my goodness.
And audience, please make sure you tune back in for part 2 of Mosaics. We have more authors to speak with. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close us out. I wanted to let everyone know sustainable habits inspire mindful transformation to help you get your shift right. All right. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.